The hour grows late, but Liam must give his weekly update. It's Liam Leapings, number 99, I think, for the 1st of September 2024. We're moving right along this year. My connection's really bad right now, it says, so hopefully this video quality is okay. I don't know why my connection's so bad. It hasn't done that on one of these videos for a while. But anyways, I finished 4 books this week, barely into a couple others, so I'll mention them in that order pretty much. So I finished Red Magic by Gene Robb. The cover's awesome. The book is okay. It just is kind of boring in a sense, kind of typical D&D fare, but like on the low end, I feel like. It's not bad, but I didn't really care for the main characters at all. I like Malagor, but he's a bad guy. I like him just because and not that he's not cheesy though either, so. Still some of my connection's bad. I don't know why it's so bad. I also finished Skaven Slayer by William King. Book 2 in Godric and Felix. This is an omnibus. And it was also okay. We'll see if the third one is better. In fact, I feel like I might have liked Skaven Slayer less than I liked Troll Slayer. And I wasn't a big fan of Troll Slayer anyways. So definitely looking to get more Sword and Sorcery vibes from it. Didn't quite satisfy me. Wasn't bad. I still like the characters of Gotrek and Felix. It's just the way some of those tales go. I just I don't know. They really don't grab me, or if they do, they don't keep me entertained. So anyways, the books I'm really close to finishing are Light by M. John Harrison. It's a really weird novel, really weird. It's kind of post cyberpunk. I don't know. It's not. It's okay. It's told with 3 narratives. 2 are in the 2400 area, time range, and then 1 is in 1999. The book came out in 2002 or something. And it's all these characters are doing weird things, and I didn't really like any of them. I kind of grow to enjoy them a little bit more. Like I liked Ed more than, I don't even remember her name right now. Saria, sounds right. Or Michael. They're all interesting. It's all really weird, and I say weird not in the sense that you can't understand what's going on. In some sense, you can't understand what's going on, like the way the spaceship battles, especially with Saria's parts, are described, really just don't make any sense. I don't know if they're supposed to make sense or they're not supposed to make sense, but for the most part, it's readable, right? It's not like you're wondering what the heck's going on here. It's just really weird. So I'm not quite done, but I'm really close. I'm not sure I'll continue this series. This actually works largely as standalone because I don't think any of these characters are really important in the next book or the one after that. So I think it will wrap up. The next book wraps up some of the questions about one of the characters, but seems kind of unnecessary. So I don't know if I'll it wasn't it's kind of thick. It's kind of thick, so I'm not sure if I'll read the rest. Thick and not like the most entertaining ever. It does deal with post cyberpunk interestingly, but again. And I'm also really close to finishing Hollow by Brian Catling. This is another one that actually hasn't kept my attention as well as I would have liked. It's a weird story. Again, kind of like that one. But more recent, only a few years old. And it's like early modern, kind of about the Hieronymus Bosch paintings, literally. It's interesting. It's interesting. Again, I'm not quite done with this one. It's pretty short as well. I just, for some reason, the style's not gripping me. Even though, I mean, it has everything I feel like I like that time period itself. I like weird books. It just hasn't been as gripping as, say, something like I also read recently, which also is weird, just like Venus Underground. Right, so and that has some similarities actually too. I'm also really close to finishing Notes from the Underground, or Notes from Underground, or whatever you call it, from Fyodor Dostoevsky. First Dostoevsky. I'm reading this one because it's short, so it's fine. It's interesting philosophical dialogue. Kind of feels like rambling at times. It seems to be against determinism, which is nice, I guess, to read. Um, it's interesting. I don't really have many thoughts to share right now. But I'm enjoying it. Not like a favorite thing ever, but enjoyable. I apologize. I'm really tired. I'm also really close to finishing Ghost of the Neon God by T.R. Napper, which is a novella that came out earlier this year. Actually just got approved for a. It's gonna be bad. I want to stand up and go grab some books that I forgot to grab. I just got approved for an e-arc for the Escher Man, which comes out next month. Well, this month, I guess now in September, but um, which is also a cyberpunk. I've read 36 Streets, okay, and I'm almost done with Ghost of the Neon God, and I'm not enjoying it as much. I don't think that has anything to do with the length. I mean, if you watch my channel, you know I love short stories and I love novellas and whatnot. You know what I mean? Just whatever it is, he doesn't land it. I don't feel like he nails it as well as he did in 36 Streets. 36 Streets, the whole novel, I'm not sure that has really anything to do with it. So, but it's still entertaining enough, and it's really short, so there's no reason really not to, you know, enjoy it. I mean, if you want a real taste of, I feel like he did better in shorter works, right? So I mean, like you read something like um, uh, Neon Leviathan. There's several stories in there that are really really well done. And I'm also well. That's it. Those are the 4 books I'm close to being done with. I am. I have made decent progress in uh, When Gravity Fails by George Alec Effinger, which is kind of one of the more forgotten 80s cyberpunk novels and novelist and author, whatever. Um, yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. Actually, I'm enjoying When Gravity Fails a lot. So I read one short story by him. I'm forgetting right now what it's called, but it's in the big books of cyberpunk. So, anyways, I also let's see. I started a few more books. Oh, I forgot to mention 2 books I finished. Wow, this is getting too long. Right. I'm barely into Naum by Lavi Tidar. Barely into it. Really enjoying it, but barely into it. I'm also barely into Schismatrix. He said it was like sounds like schematic, but it's Schismatrix. So there's an Z and a R in there. So Schismatrix, I guess, the classic novel by Bruce Sterling. I'm not quite sure what's going on yet. It's interesting. The style of it's not the most gripping yet, but I feel like it has a potential to be enjoyable. But for the first chapter, I'm not quite really at a point where I'd say I'm enjoying it. I'm reading it. I'm not quite enjoying it. And then yeah, those are the ones I barely start. No, that's not true. Let me go grab these other books real quick, and then I'll mention the other 2 books that I finished and I forgot to mention because I don't have physical copies. Hey, sorry about that. I'm barely into this. I Got and Changed by Matthew Hughes. It's a Dying Earth novel. It's divided into parts, which is funny. There's 8 parts, but the first part is half the book, and there's little breaks, but no chapters. Also, I read the first page because I just got it. I want to try to prioritize this, but there's just so many books. Hopefully I can. But I was sent this by the author, actually, very nice of Warren here. Warren Walker sent me The Path of Lightning. I don't think it's out yet. I think it's a arc. Sorry, I'm really tired. I feel like I shouldn't. I'm pretty sure it's an arc. But interesting. He advertised it as Sword and Sorcery and Grimdark Swords. So I like the first page. I've only read the first page, though. Sorry. The other 2 books I finished was Mirror Shades, which anthology edited by Bruce Sterling's the cyberpunk anthology from the 80s. It was fine. I wasn't a big fan of each story in there, but it was enjoyable for sure. Glad I read it. And then I also finished Scissors Cut Paper Wrap Rock by Ian McDonald. My first Ian McDonald. I wasn't blown away. I didn't enjoy this as much as, say, like, again, Venus Underground by Jeff Vandermeer, but I did enjoy it. Um, I like. It's kind of similar in some ways to Snow Crash. Uh, Not as absurd. At least it didn't feel like it to me. But I did enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed it. Very easy to read. I would like to definitely read more by McDonald. I started here just because it was short. Um, he's written a lot of different stuff, so I'm not sure exactly what to read next. My original idea was to read River of Gods because that's also cyberpunk. I might do that. It's a little long, that book, but still. Anyways, those are all the books. It's too much. Anyways, I'm really tired, so I'm going to get off before I say something stupid. Whatever. I hope you had good reading, good week. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.